What's going on, everybody? Back on stream, back in my setup, back in my home, back ready to get this. Just back, man. I mean, we got a lot to talk about, bro. An absolute lot to talk about. First things first, before we get started, few reasons why I haven't really been behind the camera as much lately. Over the past few days, I'm having a kid, and like the most important thing right now is just making sure that everything's going smoothly. I went to go see the ultrasound today for my kid, and it's growing healthy, excellent heartbeat, very active in there. Seems like it already wants to come out. So, can't wait to actually meet this baby. What's going on, bro? How you doing? I'm just getting the stream started, waiting for a few more people to jump in here, see what's going on. But I'm just talking about the birth of my kids coming at the end of the year, and I'm very, very excited for it. There's a lot to look forward to. So, you know, over the past few days, we've seen a lot of stuff come out about Cole Palmer, about the new manager, what he wants. He wants players committed and all that kind of stuff. But the biggest news of the week, in my opinion, um, it's looking like Enzo Fernandez is going to be dipping out of this football club. And there's a lot that we need to get into when it comes to this brother, man. I mean, one of my favorite players on the team, one of the most important players on this team. And now, you know, it does seem like the ownership is trying to push him out and is going to push him out of the club, given what the comments he had during the international break. And, I've got a lot to say on that, man. I mean, this is just another reason why this ownership needs to leave. You buy this player back in 2023 for 105 million, right? And at the time it was like, why are we spending so much money on a guy that's unknown? He won the young player of the tournament at the World Cup champion. Todd Bowley was desperate to get him. They even had an altercation in the Benfica room trying to get this brother to transfer from Benfica to Chelsea. And now it's looking like 3.5 years later, this brother is going to end up leaving because he's not going to get the contract that he wants. And they feel like they need a different voice in that dressing room in terms of leadership, which, it's up for debate. Maybe his leadership style is not the best, but at the same time, is anybody else really stepping to the plate in that dressing room when it comes to leadership ability, when it comes to in my opinion, the consistency he's had for the entire season? You don't get double digit goals and assists if you're not a consistent player, bro. Even if the team is as bad as it's been all season, you're not going to sit here and get these kind of numbers. And I can pull it up real quick, or I can read it to you guys actually. It's pinned on here. He has, in 60 games, 26 goals and assists as a creative midfielder. That's world class numbers. We were giving Kevin De Bruyne all these adulations about how he's a world class attacking midfield player. Later in his career at Man City, he ended up dropping a bit deeper and was still putting up this similar numbers, right? Enzo Fernandez in this horrible Chelsea team was able to get those kind of numbers. Now, you got teams like Real Madrid and Manchester City circling for his services because they know the kind of player for he is, especially Enzo Maresca, who's set to take charge at Man City, is going to be desperate to get this guy into his squad, right? There's just a lot that I said this in my short earlier. It's a missed opportunity to actually build a team around this guy when you've had him for 3.5 years and you failed essentially to build the right team around him. I don't know what else we can really say about this ownership anymore, right? You got Valentin Barco, a guy that I have not watched yet, and I'm excited to see what he can do next season for us because it seems like he will be the replacement. But at the same time, man, it's like, are we really going to sit here and say in his first season he's going to have the same amount of numbers? I don't think so, bro. It took Enzo a full season to really get acclimated to the Premier League because he came in our worst season, 22-23, and you know, it looked like he wasn't ready. It looked like the Premier League was too quick for him. It was too physical for him. Now, 3.5 years later, he's shown that he was one of the most important signings in the past 4 or 5 years. Now he's going to be set to leave. So let's go ahead and take a look at some things that I saw before I jumped on stream here. The first thing I'm going to show you guys is this, man. Man City will be going all out for Enzo Fernandez. Interest is concrete, and there is already some informal chat with the player's entourage. Enzo Maresca's arrival at City could be key in the operation. Now, the other team that's involved, obviously, with the title of this stream is Real Madrid. Now, if you're going to sell to Man City, you need to extract every single penny you can get out of them for them, especially if Enzo Maresca is the guy asking for him. You need to extract every single penny you can to get this guy through the door over there and to get the transfer funds that you need. Now, are we going to trust this ownership to really go get the players that is going to replace him? Probably not. But if what we're seeing is true, that Alonso has input on what players come in, then we'll see what happens. Eunice said it best over his past few videos, bro. We're going to wait till the summer transfer window to see what's really different about this time around. And in his opinion, nothing's going to change. You're still going to see this team go by young players. They've already said it themselves. They want to still buy young, but they want to get established Premier League players. If you look at the list that they're talking about here, none of those players are going to break doors down if they come to Chelsea. In my opinion, the only player that will honestly make a difference if they come is Crescencio Somerville, which I'll get to in a little bit because I do think he is a good techie player that this club could use. But there's other options out there if you're getting over 100 million for Enzo Fernandez. Real Madrid, on the other hand, are they going to come knocking? Because his dream move probably would be to go to Real Madrid. But at the same time, if he wants to stay in the Premier League, playing the best team in the world, and or play with the best, in my opinion, still the best club in the Premier League, I don't care if Arsenal won it, bro. I really, really don't. Man City, from top to bottom, to me, is still the most complete team in the Premier League. You add Enzo Fernandez in that midfield, if Rodri does leave, there's still gonna be a force to be reckoned with, and he's gonna be even better playing there around those kind of players, around Erling Haaland, right? He's gonna be able to create so many more opportunities for that brother, and you're gonna probably see him score 30 plus goals next season. Not Enzo Fernandez, but Erling Haaland, right? But again, Man City going in for him, you need to extract every single penny. Otherwise, it's pointless. It's absolutely pointless to sell to them. I'd rather sell abroad and make sure he's not playing against us twice a season, maybe 3 times a year. That's what I would do. But again, I'm not in the boardroom. I'm not making the decisions on whether or not he's going to end up going to wherever he wants to go. If no club comes in for him for the price tag that Chelsea is going to want, he's going to end up staying. But in my opinion, with the way that everything has been handled, he didn't get the contract that he's looking for. He's going to push for a move away. There's also another piece I wanted to pull up here. Yes, right here. Exclusive. Enzo is likely to depart Chelsea this summer. Contract negotiations have failed to progress, and the player feels disappointed with things being done to make him leave. And if he's feeling this way because of what he said during the international break, oh, I would love to live in Madrid, that's not the worst thing in the world to say. If he's speaking out about how the dressing room's morale has dipped because a certain manager isn't there anymore, I don't see anything wrong with that. It's not like he's tampering with other clubs saying, oh, well, I wish we had this player at this club or this manager come in because Enzo Maresca left. He didn't do anything like that. He was just being honest. And if you can't, and I don't care if players are under contract or anything like that. If the players are being honest about what's going on and how they're feeling, the club should not be this pissed off at this guy, because you take him out of the squad, Chelsea are fighting relegation, bro. Honestly, they're fighting relegation. Now have all of his performances this season been good? No, but he's been probably one of the most consistent players in the squad outside of João Pedro. And João Pedro's linked with the move away to fucking Barcelona, bro. Right? You sell these two players and you don't get the amount of money that I'm thinking of. If you're gonna sell João Pedro for 100 million and you sell Enzo for 80 million to Real Madrid, or 125 million to Man City. I'm expecting 230 million. And if this ownership fumbles the bag with that, they have to go. Xabi Alonso, if he doesn't have a say in what players come in, this club is cooked. This club is not going anywhere next season, right? And that gets into the game on Sunday. Should Chelsea look to win that game to get into the Europa League and hope Brighton lose by 2+ goals to Man City or to Manchester United? Or should they just lose that game and focus on one game a week? In my opinion, I'd rather see this team play one game a week right now. I really, really do, because you can't sell players like this and expect this ownership to go get somebody to replace him. Valentin Barco is not going to be able to replace him in one season. You need to get somebody that is established and ready to go, that is creative enough and that is dynamic enough. Enzo's not the most physical midfielder, and that's what people need to start really understanding about his game. You put the right players around him, two forces next to him, you're going to start seeing why he's considered a world-class player. But I've been saying this since the start of last season. He's one of the most important players in this squad. And the fact that the ownership has essentially turned his back on him, like, did he even have a chance to prove that he wants to stay? I think his play justified it, but I don't think he's been given a chance to really prove that he wanted to stay. You don't sell somebody that has 26 goal contributions as a number 8. You don't do that. But this club will, because it's a money opportunity. It's a business opportunity for them. They get that kind of money, you can expect 4, 5 young players to come in. You're not going to get established players. I saw this video yesterday linking us with Keenan Yildiz. 70 to 90 million. If you sell Enzo, go ahead and go try to get him. But if Juventus make the Champions League, he's not leaving. So who are your other options? Right? Who are the other options? I don't think they have any other options. I think they're just blowing smoke up our asses, bro. And like, I'm not going to be sitting here saying that I'm happy that he's leaving, but he would deserve the move away if the ownership is telling us that he sabotaged his own career at Chelsea because he spoke out about how Enzo Maresca left and about how he wants to live in Madrid. Who gives a fuck about that, bro? Because he was speaking the truth. I'm sorry. He really, really was. Like, he really, really was, man. I think a lot of people really need to start paying attention to that. It's not just the managers that will get the axe. It'll be the players if they start speaking out against the ownership. But maybe under Alonso, you'll start seeing a little bit more humility in these players. Like, okay, well, I can't speak out, but he can go talk to the board if he wants to. But will Alonso last more than a year? In my opinion, I think he'll make it through next season. But if Chelsea aren't qualifying for the Champions League, he's going to be under immense pressure. And I don't think that's fair to him because there's so many players that need to get out of this club. There's so many players that just should not be here, right? If you sell João Pedro and Enzo Fernandez, bro, you can consider our season cooked for next season because they're not going to go get the right players to replace them. And this is why I said there's a 60-40 chance he stays. Now it's looking like a 5% chance that he stays, and he's 95% gone. It's just a matter of which club, either Man City or Real Madrid, which one is going to come in and actually get this brother. I think he's asking for a move away at this point because he feels disrespected by the board. And I don't blame him. I do not blame him for feeling this way whatsoever. You take him out of this squad, and we've seen the difference when he's not in there. You suspend him for 2 games in the middle of a season when we are on one of the worst runs since 1912. That's what you guys do. You don't have him versus Port Vale. Cool. That was one of the most ridiculous, aberrational games that we've seen this club have in a very long time. That 7-0 meant absolutely nothing. Man City coming to the bridge the following week absolutely ripped us a new asshole, bro. Now, would he have made a difference in that game? I believe he would have, but we still would have lost that game. But the point is, his impact on the pitch, you're going to find it very difficult to find a replacement for him. Valentin Barco, and I'll get to him right now. I'll show you what I just saw, right? They agree to a deal to sign him. Agreement in place with RC Strasbourg will let Barco go after an impressive improvement this year. They're ready to proceed with the Argentine midfielder from June. Now, people are going to have to help me out here, right? People are talking about his passing, his defensive ability. Cool, right? But he's not the kind of player we needed to add to the squad. Now, I'm excited to see what he can do. I want to see what he can do on the pitch, honestly, in a Chelsea shirt. But if we're being completely honest, these aren't the kind of players that we need in the squad right now. We need established players, bro. Players that have been there, done that, and are ready to hit the ground running. Otherwise, you can consider us in a relegation battle next season, even with Xabi Alonso, bro. You can consider Chelsea in a relegation battle, bro. Right? I mean, again, right? I'll go to this exclusive here, man. I mean, this comment here says he will regret it. Man, get the frick off my screen, bro. Man City will still be dominating and challenging for trophies. Their time is over. Pep Guardiola is gone, and the glory days are finished. I mean, Man City have the quality in their squad to make this brother better. And it's unfortunate because I don't like Man City. This move would annoy me more, even if we get the money for it. This move would annoy me more than him going to Real Madrid. I would prefer him go there than go to Man City. Where do I think he's gonna ultimately end up? I think he ends up in Madrid. Because I think a bidding war will happen between the two clubs, and he's going to have a choice. Do I want to go play under Enzo Maresca, or do I want to go play for Jose Mourinho? That's really what he has to make a decision on, because he's not going to be here next season. Barring a miracle, he's gone. And it hurts, bro. Like, it really, really does hurt. I can't begin to explain to you how annoyed I was this morning seeing these stories pop up about this. It was sad. It's sad because I love Enzo. I think he's a great player, bro. And I think Chelsea are making a mistake in letting him go. I really do. Right? And then I saw this. Now, we're in dreamland if people think this move is happening. Morgan Rogers is not coming to Chelsea, bro. I'm sorry. Like, I wouldn't mind it because I think he could be the proper replacement for him. But again, this isn't. I don't see it happening. I think Manchester United would be the move that he makes, because Man United could use a player like him in their squad to help Bruno Fernandez out. I really, really do. Right, and then I saw this too. Manchester United have scouted Josh Achiampong. Chelsea have always insisted he's not for sale. However, my information is that the player would be quite interested in exploring options if he feels like he's not going to get regular game time under Xabi Alonso. Chelsea are looking for a new starting center half. You can sell other players, bro. I'd send them out on loan, personally. I wouldn't even sell them. I'd send them out on loan. If Achiampong is part of your long-term plans, play him. I'd rather watch him make mistakes and learn than watch Tosin Badiashile steal minutes and play garbage. They're right. Sell Tosin. Sell Badiashile. Sell Fofana, bro. Sell Gusto. Only center half that you're keeping is Levi Colwell, bro. But even then, he's interested in to move away also to Liverpool. It's like, this is the kind of stuff here that is going to systematically destroy this club. He would be pure profit, bro. It's crazy, man. Really, really is, bro. Right? I'd rather see Enzo Fernandez in this uniform than Man City blue. But it also says here, if Madrid ultimately moved for Rodri, Fernandez would be offer an option for Man City. So if Real Madrid don't go in for Rodri and they can't get that move to happen, Enzo will end up in Man City. And that's why I said Real Madrid will make a strong move to sign Enzo, with sources close to the situation saying there's a very strong chance that Sunday's clash with Sunderland is the last game for Chelsea. And it's going to suck, bro. It really, really will. I don't think people are truly understanding the significance of this brother leaving. Now, there will be Chelsea fans out there that are going to be happy as hell that he's gone, right? They feel like he's garbage. They feel like he's dog shit. I'm going to be real, bro. You guys have not paid attention to him whatsoever. I don't get how you haven't worked it out by now. The club spin it so we all believe it's down to the player as to why they leave, when it's all to do with the club pushing them out because they hold the value. There's a reason Fofana isn't being pushed out the door. This They want to make their money back for Enzo Fernandez. They paid 105 million. They want to make their money back. This is a business opportunity, guys. This is not anything that has to do with football. This is a business opportunity. And I think people understand that. And there's people out there that just don't understand it, really. And you guys need to wake up and see what the ownership is really trying to do to him, bro. Right? I saw this. If Enzo Fernandez depart for Real Madrid, then expect Chelsea to ask for a player or two from them. A source mentioned Chelsea will try to get Dean Housen again. Arlen Tchouameni could be another name to watch. Tchouameni, I think, would be an exceptional signing, but again, it's like I don't think Real Madrid would do that swap, bro. Me personally, I'd rather go for a Valverde, bro. Like, that's just me. That's just me. I want to know how people are feeling about that, man. I mean, I can't begin to explain to you guys like the disgust I have seeing that he's gonna leave. It sucks, dude. Because I've defended him on this platform since I've started the channel, bro. And even before that, seeing people talk slanderous bullshit about him, like whatever he did on that Argentinian bus is what he did. I don't condone it. I don't condone racism. I'm half black, bro. I'm half African American. Like, I don't condone what the brother was doing on there. But if I push that to the side and talk about the footballer himself, Chelsea are making a huge mistake. Right? Then it says Jabi Alonso will get a full preseason with Cole Palmer, Levi Colwell, João Pedro, and Esteval. If you're gonna go get anybody, it's like this guy says, just go get Adam Wharton, bro. Go get somebody that's been in the Premier League and knows how the league plays. That's what you're gonna have to do. Otherwise, we're cooked. We really, really are. And it sucks. Keep on trying to tell people this shit, man. The ownership doesn't understand what they're doing. Selling these players off just to make a quick buck, bro. It's craziness. So another thing on Morgan Rogers here. Chelsea and Manchester United are the two main clubs to watch for Morgan Rogers at the moment. There is a chance he could communicate where he wants to go before the World Cup. A figure of 80 million, maybe more, if there's a bidding war, is expected to be enough to sanction a sale. So if they sell Enzo, expect Chelsea to be in the race for Morgan Rogers, which I don't understand why he would even make that move in the first place, realistically. If you're choosing right now between Man United and Chelsea, you're going to Manchester United. You just are. Am I excited to see Valentin Barco at Chelsea? I mean, I'm excited to see how he plays, man. But that's about it. I have my reservations on Enzo, but when clubs interested in him are Real Madrid, Man City, and PSG, you have to wonder if the club might be making mistakes. How much would you sell him for? 100 and you need to get over 100 million, bro. You really, really do. Tom's Dinosaur Opinion has posted a few predictions of what happens next to Chelsea. Finished 10th in the Premier League. Multiple players handed 30% pay cuts. Liam Messina gets fired using break clause. Most of those players went out. Multiple players sold to service debt and recruit. Multiple players moved from Strasbourg to Chelsea. Front shirt sponsor doesn't renew. Blue Coat unable to refinance the Bank of America loan of £755 million. It's a fucking disgrace, bro. And it's like I've never been the one to say, and this was posted on April 16th. Dude saw the future. And then Eunice goes, "Be careful. They'll call you negative for stating reality. You're not being negative, brother. You're just speaking the truth." Chelsea finally found a good striker in João Pedro. If we sold him this summer, I'd be so upset, man. You have to keep him. You have to keep one of the two. Do you think Enzo deserves a pay raise up to 300 grand a week, or sell him for 120 million? If that's what he's asking for, is that what he's asking for? Now, I mean, to make 300 grand a week, you really got to be banging in something. But Chelsea won't be in the Champions League next season. If that's what he's asking for, I mean, I would go for him maximum 250 a week, bro. I will give him 250 a week because he's shown that he deserves it. Honestly, like that's what I would do. But realistically, if it's 300 grand a week, I would sell him for 120 million. And you just hope and pray that this ownership actually uses them right, uses the money right. But we don't know that. If Alonso has given the green light for Cucurella, Enzo, and even João Pedro to move on at their specific request, then I'm all in on whatever seems is best for Chelsea Football Club. Alonso made it clear he wants to change the culture of the club, and if this is part of that change, then move them on. I am on the Alonso hype train, and if he's involved as much as we are, being believed, then it's for the best. No player is bigger than the club, and this is the same. Honestly, bro, I do feel like the ownership is trying to push him out. I really, really do. Which is sad because he doesn't deserve to be pushed out like this. If he wants the move, he should be able to hand in a transfer request, not be forced out. Like, look at the names here, bro. That these player replacement scenarios could happen. Enzo, Valentin Barco, already basically confirmed at this point. Mark Cucurella, Joel Hato, he's already here. João Pedro, Emmanuel Omega. Bring back Nicholas Jackson, bro. Like, bring back Nico Jackson, bro. Honestly. Robert Sanchez, Mike Penders, okay, Pedro Neta, Giovanni Quenda. And I saw something earlier that Chelsea may send him back out on loan. Then why'd you buy him in the first place, right? Like, this is what I'm talking about, man. You're buying players and you're sending them back on loan, and they're never going to see the first team. I hope that's not true. I want to see him at least come to the club and see what he can do. Trevor Chalobah, Mamadou Sarr, you guys sabotage his development by actually bringing him in. Are you a Chelsea Drogba fan or Chelsea Hazard fan? Well, I started watching via club when I saw Drogba, but Eden Hazard is my favorite Chelsea player of all time, honestly. Like, he really, really is. We haven't had anybody since that, brother, man. Not even close to the same level. And people want to say Cole Palmer. No. And speaking of Cole Palmer, I was telling you guys for the better part now of 2 months, Cole Palmer is playing his way straight out of that England squad. And what happened? What did Thomas Tuchel say? He wasn't decisive enough. He hasn't been consistent. And there's people, pundits, people on this Twitter platform, all this stuff saying it's an outrage that he's not in the World Cup squad. You guys haven't been watching him since January 2025, have you? Didn't he go on that stretch from January to May where he didn't score a goal? Wasn't his play then kind of weird? He had the purple patch in the Club World Cup, but that's about it. He hasn't been there. He isn't there. Now, hopefully, he'll get the full preseason with Alonso, and we'll see if Alonso can get him back to his best form. Because I feel like if Cole Palmer can find his best form, the team will play a little bit better. But again, you need to bring quality around him, and you're going to sell one of those quality players, maybe two of them. Two of your most important players may end up leaving Chelsea this summer, in Enzo and João Pedro. Insane, bro. Insane. I've seen Juan Mata leave this club. I promise you, Enzo isn't the end of the world. That was a different era, bro. I'm struggling to see the point of the Barco signing. Doesn't address anything we need in midfield, and I don't feel like he's much better. I don't feel like he's much better, if better, than Santos and Lavia. Under no circumstances can the potential of Enzo. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, does anybody believe in Andre Santos or Romeo Lavia? I don't, especially Lavia. Since he's come to the club, he hasn't been able to play a full 90 minutes. That's concerning. Eunice also had this yesterday. We feel like we bought Lavia because Liverpool wanted him. We're just trying to snatch players off other teams because they're interested in them. Can't keep doing that stuff, man. I do like this. Chelsea have invited Thiago Silva to become part of the club's wider structure once he decides to retire. This would not only involve a playing return. Instead, the plan would see Silva working as part of Chelsea general. I mean, you should bring him on the coaching staff. I think that would be great because he knows what it means to wear that badge. He's won it. Yeah, I saw this earlier. If Enzo Fernandez requested to leave Chelsea, would you rather sell him to Manchester City for 125 plus or 80 million to Real Madrid? Obviously, you're going to take the 125 million, but for me, I'd rather see him in Madrid, honestly. Real Madrid. No point giving more money for these directors to spend. What did I just say? And this is before I even saw his reply. You don't trust these owners, bro. Xabi Alonso reacts to the new signing, top signing. Welcome to the club. I mean, if he believes in him, I guess we got to start believing in him, right? But he kissed the badge. Liverpool is making headlines again, this time with serious interest in Chelsea's Levi Colwill. Telling you, man. João Pedro will be very excited to join Barcelona should an opportunity arise, but he remains plan B to Julian Alvarez. Yeah, I think Julian Alvarez is a prime target. That's why I think João Pedro will stay for one more season, in my opinion. And then I feel like if Chelsea aren't doing well next season, I think he's going to leave. There is positivity around Esteval Williams' recovery to be another boost for Xabi Alonso's preseason campaign of Australia. Bro, I'm going to say this. You need to protect this brother, man. You cannot afford, in my opinion, you cannot afford to have this guy here pick up injury after injury after injury. He needs all the rest he can get. If you're doing this on the training pitch at Cobham, sure. But I don't want to see this brother play realistically until the start of next season. The whole preseason tour in Asia and Australia, bro, it's just this, man. It's just money. There's nothing else to it. They're they're desperate, bro. This club is desperate for money, man. And it's because they're in such huge debt. Honestly. So here's the quote about from Thomas Tuchel speaking on Cole Palmer. Cole wasn't as decisive as previous seasons. He wasn't available for us a lot and wasn't decisive. He also competes in the right half 10 position where we decided for Jude, Morgan, and I'm guessing Eze, who are outstanding players, had a better season and more decisive in our camps than Cole. It was a difficult decision, and there's no questioning his talent and what he can give you in moments, but still, the decision was against him. I've been saying this. Cole Palmer had moments, but we haven't seen a consistent 90-minute game out of this brother for a very long time. So he deserves to be out. And I was saying this for the longest time, and people thought I was crazy. I'm like, no, he's going to miss out on the World Cup, bro. But the other name that was weird that why he's in there is Noni Madueke. Now, Thomas Tuchel's reasoning on why Noni Madueke was there, I'm going to be honest, man. And Arsenal fans, bro, you guys are in these comment sections saying he actually did a lot. What did he do this season, bro? That's got to be one of the biggest front runners I've ever seen. Like, he's got to be one of the biggest front runners I've ever seen at a club. I mean, congratulations, bro. You won the Premier League as the third option on the right wing. I'm just saying. If we get Fermi Lopez and Chouameni in return, I don't think that's happening, bro. I'm not going back to Jackson as someone I've watched. I mean, I'm a tease. You want to have Nicholas Jackson alongside of João Pedro. That's what I would do. Personally. That's what I would do. And if you're honestly keeping João Pedro, you can slot João Pedro just in behind Nico Jackson and play him with Palmer in those 2 10s. Just saying. Mark Cucurella can also go too. I'm over him, honestly. I'm over it. If Enzo leaves, I leave, consider this a warning. Just stick to your YouTube, bro. Honestly. Like, I'm just saying that now. Just stick to your YouTube, man. Like, what an abomination this club has become, dude. So the preview for Chelsea and Sunderland will be probably tomorrow. Honestly, it's pretty late out here. I got home from work about like an hour and a half ago. I'm just gonna say this to end my stream here. Enzo Fernandez, bro. I'm just gonna say it's unfortunate that your time at the club is coming to an end. And to be honest with you, bro, you deserved a lot better than how you're being treated in terms of the PR bullshit that we're seeing about the guy, and in terms from a lot of the fans in this fan base, bro. I think a lot of the fans in this fan base have a lot to do with why he's leaving. I really, really do. And I don't care if I get clipped on that shit, bro. I really, really don't. Because I've seen a lot of slander towards this brother for a little bit too long now. And there's people now starting to change their opinions on him, but it's a bit too late. Keep the same energy, bro, because when he goes to Man City and Real Madrid, people are gonna say, "Oh, he's a world class player. He's this and that." No, I've been saying this, and other people have been saying this for the longest time, man. And you guys want to jump on the bandwagon now because he's leaving? Knock it off, bro. Honestly, like knock it off, bro. I think you guys are. I think the Chelsea fans in this. There's a not all of them, but there's some Chelsea fans in this fan base, bro. That you guys are just absolutely ridiculous, bro. But look, I'm gonna get out of here. I need to go hang out with my beautiful lady and my daughter. Get these dogs to stop barking because they're annoying her. So I'll see you guys in a video probably sometime tomorrow, or probably record a video before I go to work. That will be my preview for Sunderland and Chelsea final game of the season. What I'm expecting, not expecting too much. The season's been dead for a while, and then I will later in the week after all the games are settled, we see the final league positionings and all that stuff. I will be going over. I'll have a season review video on Chelsea and just the disappointment that this club has shown. But I'm Jason. No filter Chels. Drop a like, comment, sub, do all those cool things, and I'll see you guys soon.